now One Piece chapter 738. This is a good chapter, man. This is good. Nico Robin came in clutch, man. Nico Robin came in clutch. I like this. I like that. I like this a lot, actually. I like this a whole hell of a lot. So basically what ends up happening is like Nico Robin, she assesses the situation and goes back to what I've been saying. With Nico Robin, she's got that survivor instinct. You can never really doubt whether or not Nico Robin, her instincts are off. And so what ends up happening is she stops Leo from going further anymore because the guy that's watching over Sugar, all of a sudden he's zapping flies between the eyes, and Nico Robin picks up on and says, this guy's got incredible eyesight. If you try and give that Tabasco grape to Sugar, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up dying. And so I like that, and I like how Nico Robin comes up with a plan, and she's like, okay, we got bees. The bees are going to distract the men down there. We're going to use that as an opportunity to say there's a fight. She makes a clone of herself. She has the clone lead the guy that's guarding Sugar out. And all of a sudden, once he realizes it's a ruse, he's like, oh, it's her. Those straw hats. And then he tries to capture her, and he finds out that it's a clone. And I like the fact that Nico Robin has been thinking several steps ahead. However, this is the thing. When it comes to Sugar, we see just in a matter of moments, she turns all of those fairies into toys. And then she turns those toys against their former comrades. And so now you got like a little miniature war going on. That's beautiful. That's beautiful right there. I like that. I like that a lot, man. And like part of the reason why I think that is so damn interesting is what we're essentially seeing is we're seeing a response of comrades against comrades fighting against your will. And again, it's that whole thing with this arc of giving out hope and then snatching away, giving out hope and snatching away. Oh, we're going to pull this off. Oh, the table's been turned on us. Giving us hope that they're going to free their country and their comrades, and then snatching it away. That's beautiful. And I like how the fact that, she even says, you idiots, you don't even realize when you're being manipulated. Just that sense of superiority. That sense of superiority, it never goes away, but it's always there. It's always there. And it just makes you detest these characters all the more. Especially when you actually see inside the Smile Factory of how like they're feeding the fairies there, they're feeding them rotten food and they're being whipped, and yet they're taking it all because they think that they're saving their princess. And it just shows like that's what happens when you're gullible. You can't always believe everything somebody tells you. Like I'm a big fan of saying like, hey, show me the receipts. Show me the receipts that she actually said this or did this or whatever. And they try and do it. And they say, well, can we just see the princess? And as soon as they get appeased a little bit, they back off of it. And like Oda's just showing a lot about human nature. That need to believe that you're doing something for a greater purpose. Like, yeah, okay, we're making these devil fruits, and we're being told this to get the medicine to make our princess better, but they put that princess on a pedestal. And so because she's on there, they're willing to go through these lengths. They're willing to suffer in the manner that they do because of the position that she holds, believing in something greater than yourself. It's why people serve a king. It's why as Americans, we put our faith in the president. Like if something goes great in the country, we say, oh, the president did it. If something goes horribly wrong in the country, we say, this idiot screwed things up. I mean, we did it to George Bush. Like, oh, the economy crashed. We didn't say anything about the laws that the legislators passed that caused the last crash, but we just blamed the president because that's the person in charge. And it's the same thing here. Oh, well, we're doing this for the princess. But we never stopped to think, well, why would the princess be sick and why would she be here? And it's that gullible nature. So, I mean, that's very telling that that's going on. And I like the fact that, even then, right, like when Usopp is like, oh, no, I'm not going to fight. That'd be a good confidence booster for yourself. that's also Oda saying, like, when you have people like this, I know they're fairies, but I'm calling them people because you can use this for real life. You know, when you have people like this who they are blindly following, they're very gullible. Those are typically people that have lower self-esteem. And so when you get to that point, the only way that you can actually help them is to show them how to help themselves. You know, Usopp, I mean, for all the shit, like, Usopp is weak as fuck. Don't get me wrong. Usopp is weak as fuck for the part of the new world that he's in, right? You know, if he was back in the early parts of the Grand Line, Usopp would be a fucking beast. However, because of where he's at, he's very low on the totem pole. But the thing is when Usopp says, like, oh no, like, I could have ended this in a second, I have no doubt that Usopp might be able to put up a good fight, but eventually he'd fall. But there is some truth in that. Usopp, given the right scenario and the right information, some prep time, Usopp could probably win. But Usopp isn't the one that needs to be built up. So, I mean, I like that. I like that a lot, man. I mean, this was a good chapter. This is one of those chapters where the stakes got raised, and yet from a progression standpoint, we're not getting any closer to our end game. So I can see how people would say this arc kind of drags out. I can kind of see that a little bit. But at the same time, it's these small moments like this that when Oda focuses on them, they're so great. And I mean, just speaking of small moments, I like how in the SBS Corner, one of the things we get is we get the sleep schedule for the Straw Hats. And I mean, you know, for all that shade I be throwing at Nico Robin, right? I'm going to flip back to this. Give me 1 second. So for all that shade I throw at Nico Robin, you know, like with 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., hell, that's the sleep schedule I keep basically, you know, like during the week. You know, I'm 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. I can't do what Nami do, man. I get up at 7 o'clock. I ain't gonna get my ass to work on time. You know, but, you know, like the way Oda, and I said to say, you know, the way Oda does their sleep schedules and everything, everyone gets up to, goes to sleep at a certain point because of their different duties. You know, Sanji gets up a little early because he has to cook. And then he gets up 2 hours earlier than Nami. That way when Nami wakes up, everybody can have breakfast. Guys, I mean, that's my dude Sanji. He's in love with her, you know. And cooking takes time. And the way Oda said it, he said that, you know, there's always two people awake on the Straw Hat ship. There's someone at the front, there's someone at the back. And if that's the case, if Luffy came up with that, which I doubt, but if Luffy came up with it, you know, that shows a lot about the organization of the Straw Hats. And, you know, what I've always said since Luffy started gaining the members of his crew, I'm very fascinated in Luffy as the leader. I'm very fascinated in that because there's just so much about Luffy's character that it makes it enjoyable to watch him grow as a leader. He makes a bunch of boneheaded decisions, and yet when you get stuff like this, there's structure. And I think some of that comes from growing up with Garp as his grandfather. But let me know what you guys think about that point. How much of Luffy's leadership comes from having somebody like Garp as his grandfather? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day, guys.